What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Ken Ross Present the Yeah, I Said It podcast. We're expressing with our full capabilities to anybody want us in correctional facilities, brainchild of my child. I am the dad half of this operation. Coming to you live and in public, if you will. As always, shout out to Dusty Rhodes. And I am always rocking with the best, my co-host. Please introduce yourself to the folks.
No matter how good of a person you are, we are all bad guys in someone's story. So enjoy your role and at least be a memorable villain. Yeah, what's good, everybody? Everybody's having a good day, year, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. You watching other platforms, please share with your friends, your family, your enemies, bug on your wall, mailmen outside, aliens outside, all that good stuff. And if you're watching on the tube, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Because if you don't, your computer gonna have a virus. I don't know. I probably already used it.
Wow, we wishing viruses on people. Okay,
It's
okay. I
happened
mean,
though.
I understand. Like, hey, if you're not watching us, then yeah, may you get the virus. May your Norton not work for you. Um,
T-virus for computers. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say, careful on that one,
I
dog.
said for computers. For computers.
Okay, cool. Because I'm like, yeah, we don't need no Resident Evil. No, we just and real quick, we just dodged Judgment Day. What am I talking about? Because if you go back for your time, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Judgment Day was August 24th, 2024, or something like that. So we just died Judgment Day.
No, we didn't. Just a couple months late. There you go. Now I'm playing.
There
But
you go.
yeah.
There you go. But we have another awesome guest. We have a streak going of pretty awesome black women that have come to chat with us. I'm extremely thankful and appreciative. Another one of my very good homies. Oh my gosh. Please, ma'am, introduce yourself to the phone.
Hey everybody, my name is Jonee. I'm an actress, writer, and educator. Happy to be here.
All right. So yeah, this further proof, like, hey, you don't meet people who are to be friends. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. He met at a very wild job. Uh, those were some wild days because that company is like true story. We worked for AstraZeneca, and this before this was before COVID, wasn't it, or after?
It was before and in the midst of.
That's the wild part. Now knowing what we know, and AstraZeneca's link to it is like, oh wow,
Yeah.
that was wild stuff. But yes, we're gonna jump into it. Leading off, this is interesting because I've been arguing with folks, quote unquote, on the Yeah I Said It page on Facebook. Jeez, where's my mind? And it's interesting. I'm a firm believer that elephants and the guy say it consistently, elephants and asses won't save us. That means for the folks who don't get it real easily, Democrats and Republicans are not the answer. We've seen this play out time and time again. As I always said, I've been alive since the Reagan era. Equal measure of both Dem and Republican, and shit just don't change, right? So we always said, hey, we need a third party, need a third party, need a third party. Jill Stein, Dr. Jill Stein, is a third party. And one of the things I've always said is when you look at politics through a I'm black first lens, what are you specifically doing to address blackity black issues first, right? What are you doing? Um, Rewind time, there was the plan for Black America from Trump. There was whatever the hell Biden had. We had talked about it on this show. And the funny part was Trump's plan for Black America actually made more sense than Biden's because Biden's used a whole bunch of coded language, a whole bunch of for colored people, for minorities. Trump's plan actually made more sense. It just would he actually do it was the question, of course. Trump lost, we'll never know. So Jill Stein, third party, has an actual play, and I'm reading it now, a platform for Black liberation, few points, and then we'll dive into it. Let me see. Reparations is a right. That's point number one. Whoa. Restore voting rights, redress healthcare disparities, eliminate food deserts, end the water crisis. Wow. Hi, Flint. Stop polluting Black communities, Justice for Black Farmers Act, stop cop cities, Community control of police. Wow. Ban white nationalists from police. I'm curious how that's going to go. Invest in HBCUs. Justice for Cancer Alley Act. I'm not even sure what that is, so I got to do some homework. Reinvest from let's try this in English. Reinvest from policing and prisons to community building programs. If that ain't a plan for Black folk, I'm trying to figure out, and you don't have to tell us who you're voting for, but I'm trying to figure out from a very objective, blackety black standpoint. With those points there, and I set them next to anything Kamala said, anything Ancient Orange has said, how could you be Black and not vote for that? I'm hard pressed as a Black person to figure out. I'm talking to you too, you Black Trumpers, because y'all love going with Agent Orange all of a sudden.
Wipe out.
Stop, yo. But we have someone saying, yo, Black folk, I see you. Here's what we need to do. I got no problems here. Anyone jump in, thoughts, because this is a blackety black ass plan for blackety black ass people. Elephants and asses ain't doing that. We getting for colored people, for minorities. No. What about me? The folks who built this damn country.
Are you not that?
This is plan, Black folk.
Is it weird that I think that it's all sounds so good, but that's also to me part of the problem. It sounds so good, but you're saying what we haven't had the exclusivity to talk about as a community. You're saying it out loud in mixed company with people that play like they're down, because everybody's down until a not so down ass person comes along, because all those white friends that we have that are, oh my God, I stand with you, I try to understand you, they come to us and they tell us what they don't like about that. They don't tell them what they don't like about that. So just to go back to the point, it just seems too good to be true right now.
I can see that. I can see that. I have a rebuttal. Okay, thoughts? Because
Said the same thing. I said too good to be true. I believe it when I see it. Plus, they're not gonna win anyway, so I don't really. This is kind of irrelevant. But other than that,
real quick. But why won't they win? In your estimation, why won't they win?
In my estimation, I mean, I woke up today, but when I woke up today, I smelled the air, saw the sunshine, and I realized I'm in reality.
Yeah, I don't think we have I don't think we have it in us as a country.
We
Even
do not.
even if it was something that made sense, I don't think we have it in us as a country. It's
one or the other. That's how it is. That's how it's going to work until it collapses, whenever that is. So yeah. Especially if you're talking like this. Because elephants and asses needs us to be at a certain spot. And what you just read does not keep us at a certain spot.
Okay. So the part about this that pisses me off is, like I said, it was just a general question I threw out there to both of you. But honestly, I'm trying to find, like, you know me, I'm Mr. Well, let me poke holes in this, right? I am trying to figure out, if you are Black, how could you not vote here? What did Biden say 4 years ago? If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black enough. This she could actually say this and get away with it at this point, because this is a blackety black ass plan for blackety black ass Americans that addresses all the things. All the things.
So all right. Theoretical, hypothetical. I'm wrong word. Let's say she does win. She's by herself against everyone else. What could she really do?
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Some of this requires homework that I haven't done yet, but there's a couple of points. Restore voting rights. That can be done. Stop cop cities. If any federal funding goes to cop cities, that can be cut off. Now, this is where it gets tricky.
Well, that's by state, but go ahead.
Invest in HBCUs. That can be done because certain schools, I believe, certain schools receive federal funding. Now, where we're going to stop polluting Black communities, that means you're going to stick your nose into some business dealings, but that's okay. That's totally okay.
So they're going to play ball.
I mean, if you're going to stop polluting Black communities, that means you got to sit down and talk with some businesses or have legislation drafted.
Connected to who? Like I said, I don't think you realize we're doing hypotheticals. Not going to happen. She would be a lone wolf. If that's one, you putting a lot of faith in her believing that all that shit is true. But let's just say all is true and she wins. She is by herself.
This is just, I'm sure this is
a government. This ain't a monarch. If she was the czar, then yeah. But she needs everyone else to play ball. No one is going to play ball.
And you're not even going to get all Black people on the same boat with that. Exactly. You're going to have to fight Black people too. So.
Okay. 3 points. And there's 3 points. Reparation is the right. Stop cop cities. Community control of police. Oh yeah, 4th one. Ban white nationalists from police. What Black person in this country ain't down with that? Just
there's a lot of Black people that down with that.
But just like you said, how in the world you think somebody gonna be honest about being a Black nationalist so they can keep being? Come on now, come on.
He got hope.
I mean, you know, I deal. I'm the hope dealer in this show. I understand.
Dope dealer. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're gonna bump into issues with the reparations part. We're gonna bump into issues with being white nationalists because that means you're gonna have to figure out who got the white hood next to their police uniform. So I can see some issue there, but redress healthcare disparities. That doesn't require a whole lot here because basically anything that messes with money is going to be a problem. And
I don't think all this isn't
reparation. I mean, eliminate food deserts. That's not messing with money. That's not messing with money.
But you said the H word, healthcare.
Right. That's all money.
In the water crisis. Hello, Flint. Finally get that taken care of. That's not messing with money.
It's messing with the money they're using for other stuff.
Stop polluting Black communities. That's not messing with money.
Yeah, it is, because that's where they eliminate waste. That's where the cuts are coming from. They saving money.
Where else they gonna put it?
Right.
I'm about to tell you. Just take your trash from over here and put it somewhere else.
They gonna put it in somebody else's neighborhood.
Right. I agree, but no, they're not gonna do it. You just say anything touching money. That's direct. You just name everything that revolves around money.
Like I said, reparations is going to take bread. That's going to be some serious friction. That's going to take bread.
They got
right.
It. I don't care. Whatever.
Community.
We're having a hard enough time with student loans. Good luck with reparations.
They got it.
Good luck.
You're a country that print your own money. You got it. Trust me.
Quite a few folks then got their loans forgiven. Just
a lot.
Quite a few. Let's see. Community control of police. That's not messing with money. That's shifting authority.
No, we don't want that.
That's not messing with money.
That's messing with money. That's messing with the prison system. We need that to keep going. I mean, not we. I'm just saying, I'm speaking for them. They need to keep that going. This is all connected. This is why I said affecting Black issues is directly affecting their pockets.
Us being free is affecting their pockets.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Ooh. Bars.
There's a reason why we haven't got nothing. And every other people or group of people or race that got done wrong got something, and we still can't. And we're still asking for it.
The reason we haven't gotten anything is because the working definition of insanity is to do the same thing and expect a different result. We didn't ate how many times has red and blue said, "Oh no, we got you. Just vote for me first," and then you vote for them, and here we are.
Ain't nobody say nothing about reparations though.
Oh no, actually, um, no, I think you're right. I think the idea was floated for the last campaign, but it was not giving any serious traction.
It's not. It's never going to. We might as well let that go. But yeah, this is
So
money.
see,
It's money. We need to be.
Also though, our country is kind of fueled by us being misinformed. Because you got to think we are in a country that does not prioritize education. That's why things like critical race theory get misconstrued as bullying. So if we are taught from yay high that it's these two parties, it's this, it's this, it's this. When you get to, I don't think I heard anything about third parties until I was in college trying to vote.
wow.
So it's like, and I'm sure that I had heard about it, but there's some things that you hear about that don't register to you because you haven't tried to put it in use. So then when you go to try to put it in use and you find out about this thing, you're like, wait, that's a real thing? Like, does that work? Like, of course it works. They're not gonna tell us that.
Yeah. And I think the problem is the last time we've seen anybody third party make any kind of noise, ironically, was Ross Perot, however many years ago. And as I've always said this, as much as everyone wants to make noise about Trump, his first election, I think a lot more noise needed to be made about I will never be 100% sure Hillary actually beat Bernie Sanders, for one. I'm not 100% sure on that. And it's just it's where I'm going here is like, listen, they're in collusion. Politics is like wrestling. It's like WWF or WWE, whichever one you want to call it by. On the surface, The Rock hates Shawn Michaels. On the surface, The Rock and Stone Cold want to kill each other. Behind closed doors, they have a beer and they're really homies. And that's what I look about. That's what I think about both of these parties. On the surface, they can't stand each other. And everybody else in the crowd eating it up. Oh, what's The Rock? Cold, Stone Cold. But in reality, they all homies. And I have no doubt in my mind there was collusion to keep a third party from rising. Hell, you can look at the Democratic Party, how they cannibalize each other when it comes to the progressives, when it comes to AOC, when it comes to people who want to break ranks away from Pelosi and all of these old heads and say, hey, maybe we should do something for the people. But the problem is what I've seen is Republicans and now MAGA, they're going to roll Republican no matter what. The interesting presidential election is going to be next go round when we're finally past MAGA and finally past old 90 boy. What are they going to do then? Because right now you got a whole bunch of I'm voting Republican no matter what. I'm voting MAGA because Trump is our guy no matter what. Okay, cool. When he loses, and I'm calling it, he's going to lose. 4 years from now, in 28, it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. But this is just, as a Black person who has blackety black leanings and tendencies, who wants to see Black folk get their comeuppance finally, right? I cannot see how you can look at this, then look at anything from the elephants and asses and say, you know what? I think I want more of the same. I've been eating the same nasty food the last 4 years. Why not 4 more? Make it make sense. Like I said, looking at this checklist, it is all the blackety black things. It is all the blackety black things. Invest in HBCUs. There's their education. Ban white nationalists from police. I'm just curious how you do it. But they tell on themselves. They tell on themselves. You know, I'm sure we could go through certain police officers' social media, and they tell on themselves. So it ain't gonna be too hard to root out some of them. They tell on themselves. Restore voting rights, healthcare disparities, food deserts. This now, ironically, that's not even just a Black issue. That's a poor issue as well. You go to certain neighborhoods, you don't come across fresh fruits and veggies for 20 blocks. Just so happens a lot of them around Black neighborhoods, unfortunately. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's one of those things in the water crisis. How do we not fix the water in Flint? I don't know. At this point, with this platform, I don't see how, if you don't vote for her, you ain't Black enough. I'm biting. I'm biting off Biden at this point. At least she giving me something. Kamala and them giving me more of the same. Let's see here. Now let's go across the pond a little bit. Finland has experimented with a basic income for everybody. Now, just minimum wage, the basic income. I think we in this country have forgotten the purpose of minimum wage is to the smallest amount of money you need to survive. You're not going to push the brand new whip. You're not going to push the 2024 Bentley. But when we're in a situation where 40%, sometimes 50% of your income, if you get paid bi-weekly and you need one of those checks to cover your rent, that ain't cool. that ain't cool. Like, it's a lot of folks in roommate situations and moving back home because rent is through the fucking roof, let alone buying a home. But Finland has experimented with a basic wage for everyone. And lo and behold, it did not impact people's willingness to go to work, because that's what they'll sell you here. It's welfare. If everybody's getting money, no one's going to go to work. Everyone's going to be lazy. Go back to Reagan days, the welfare queen. So yeah, it's money for nothing. Yeah. Well, as we say on this show often, the answer yet again is overseas. Finland has shown in this experiment, no, actually, if you guarantee people a basic income, they still want to go to work. What a novel idea. Make sure people are just okay at the very minimum. Just make sure they're okay, and you go to work and do whatever you want to do. Anybody shocked here? Thoughts, please. Anybody jump in?
Well, I was gonna say no because first of all, as soon as you said anything overseas, I'm like, well, there are certain things I feel like they don't get charged an arm and a leg for that we do. So basic is, yeah, I'm like, hello. So basic is going to work in other places where capitalism is not king. So, yeah.
Where capitalism is not king. Let's see. So for 2 years, just to get an idea, 2 years, Finland's government gave 2,000 unemployed citizens €560 a month. No strings attached. Here's $560. First nationwide basic income experiment. And it didn't mean no one wanted to go to work. Because, and I think going on what you just said, anywhere where capitalism doesn't exist. True. We've had capitalism almost as a global thing for quite some time now. I'm putting that in just, and maybe I can't compare it because Finland and America obviously not the same places. If you gave me $560 a month, cool. I'm still going to need a lot more than that. Maybe that's an American thing. But $560 a month, that's what? It's 100 something per week just to exist. You don't necessarily have to be on the streets begging anymore. At least with $560, you can, because what do you need to get a job? You need a telephone and you need an address. Well, $560 a month, you can rent a room and get a track phone, which means you can get the basic and eat a little something. Yeah, tuna gonna get old, but and eat a little something. So $560 a month was enough to, I'm presuming, keep people off the streets, and give you the basics you need to level up. And it didn't keep people being quote unquote lazy. Go figure. Because ain't nobody balling off €560. Period. Money, and I'm like, they call it guaranteed basic income. We over here have demonized it and call it welfare. But yeah, yet again, America behind the times, and want to turn profits off people instead of actually helping people. But any shock here. So $560 there, $616 a month here. If you got $1,616 a month for just simply existing and having no other form of income, I can see that's going to be the difference between, like, do you know what the person standing? I'm in Texas, dog. It's 110 degrees sometimes. That's how that whole, well, they out here trying to get money for drugs. Fam, listen, I'm not standing on a Texas highway interchange at 105 degrees to get high. No.
I'm gonna say no, because I know here in Houston, a homeless person will ask you for a soda before they ask you for this Texas heat.
Mm, mm. So yeah, $600 a month would get that would be if you have $0 a month, and all you can count on is whether or not I'm gonna lower my window down and give you the 50 cents in my in my in my change thingy in my cup holder. I think $616 is a huge boost, and you could potentially solve, because I don't know the requirements to get welfare, so to speak, to get SNAP, things like that. I don't know why the homeless people can't, but I'm like, $616 is life changing when you have $0. Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I can speak for you guys, think you'd be for it, but are you shocked? Are either of you shocked that this program works?
Shut no.
No.
I'm trying to think, what do we need more? Would $600 do it though?
Not in this economy.
You probably right. Because I'm in my head, I'm doing the calculations. I'm trying to think. With $600 a month, like I don't even know if you can rent a room in certain places with $600 a month.
No.
Maybe for like a night. Depending
You're
on what room you're trying to get.
gonna be in the most grimiest room ever.
Yeah, I'm like, exactly. It's like
At that point, you might as well be outside. So yeah.
a month. Yeah, I don't know.
That's not maybe back in your day. Now, but back in 1920s.
There
That'd
you
be
go.
nice. You'd be balling. But now,
Only rent a room. You better off renting an apartment at that point.
I
600 a
don't,
month.
I don't even know
Well,
you
that's
can
the
do
thing
that.
though. If all I think, like, because I ain't been in college in a minute. I know if you like college kids right now, can you rent a room for 600 a month? Actually, no, because 600 a month is all your money. So can you rent a room for 400 a month?
Yeah.
It's just a room. It's not obviously it's a roommate situation, but it's your room. College kids do it all the time.
Okay, so what if you have a family?
I was gonna say, and that's the other thing. If you have family, it's probably more likely. Like, yo, let me slide you 400 for the room. At least I got somewhere to stay. I got an address. I can get mail here.
No,
I can get phone
I'm
calls.
not. I don't mean to stay with. I'm saying the family is just relying on that.
Wait, hold on. What you mean?
Because you saying just one person is relying on the what,
Yeah,
650?
yeah.
What if it's not one person?
Oh, that's where that's where this gets dicey.
That's what it gets. It's been dicey the whole time. This shit is ridiculous. Like 650 ain't what it used to be, man. It's not.
Especially,
It's not. No, it's something added on to something, but by itself, you might as
Yeah, I
well.
was gonna say, I feel like if you have a job, maybe that can create some sort of a safety net.
Yeah, that will help. Like you can just boost it. I mean, or I don't know. Well,
But
how
yeah, but by itself, that's
yeah,
some
but by itself, it's not gonna work. So you have to work.
but that's the thing though. And that's what I'm thinking of. Hey, I have no dollars, no shelter. I'm outside. and counting on you to give me what's in your change, or in your cup holder, right?
Just do a
If
stimulus
I
package.
if I give you $616 a month, basically, how do you go from under the bridge to even just a minimum wage job? How do you go from under the bridge to welcome to McDonald's? Can I get you a Big Mac?
12
How do we go from there?
stimulus package. Just do 1,200.
That, that's not the experiment. The experiment was they gave them 600 a month
That's
just
for
for
there. I don't know what their cost of living is. But I'm saying if you want something here to
right.
start with something, 1,200 is what's gonna have to be the start. It's probably gonna be higher than that, honestly, but that's something. Because you can probably get a room for 800 or whatever. You still have a couple hundred to play with. Get a dress, whatever, some food, whatever, until you get the job, whatever.
Okay, so you
800,
need
600 is not going to get you nothing.
is you gonna have to get a room because I'm like, what are your basics?
It's
So
gonna
you
go
gotta
down.
get
That's most of your stuff.
shelter, food. You can get a track
Nope,
phone for
not
cheap.
cheap. Food's
I
not
mean,
cheap.
you're not gonna have the iPhone 26 Plus Pro,
I'm not talking about
you
phone.
know.
I'm talking about food. Like I said, you know how them grocery bills look now, man.
Oh, you gonna have to come, you gonna have to tone it down. You
Oh
got to
yeah.
it's tuna and bananas, my G. It's
High blood
it's
pressure.
tuna.
Hey, the heart attack gonna kill you first. You ain't gonna
I
get the
said tuna and bananas. You good.
high
Tuna,
and
I
bananas.
said, leave the noodles where they are.
right. You
Good.
top ramen gonna have you down under.
You can survive on some frozen foods.
No, for real, you ain't one of them. That's all the sodium you need for that month, actually.
Yeah.
Good. That's your monthly supply of sodium.
Yeah. You can get cheap foods. It's gonna cost you.
Well,
It's like I said, because the shelter piece solves a lot. The shelter piece means you can buy potatoes cheap. You can get tuna in a can cheap. So the shelter piece means you can save some money and just go basic on food. I'm trying to think, how do we get you from under the bridge to behind the counter or at the drive-through? So you got to have shelter, you would. You got to have a way for someone to call you, you would. Um, you can go to the thrift store and get clean clothes for the interview, and there you go. You just gotta
Yeah.
find a you just gotta find a cheap room. You just
But
gotta find a cheap
okay, all right.
room.
Now let's be serious. Now let's be realistic because we live in a la land now. A lot of the homeless people aren't just like just homeless by choice and just able-willed, like they all in their right mind all the time. There are a lot of people with actual mental problems. Then what? They don't know any of this or addiction or whatever. So who's going to help with that? Pay for that?
Um,
That should be the government doing that, but we all know they ain't gonna do that shit. So is that $600 going to cover all that
I mean, you can go
and the
to a shelter
medications
for
that you might need? On top of the room that you said, that's probably going to be no shorter than 600. So that's all your money there anyway. So then you
once you
got to
have
pay for
it.
everything else, and you barely gonna have enough money for tuna and all that shit.
Okay, so once you have an address, you can apply for welfare or SNAP or what have you. You can get emergency food stamps.
You're talking
If
like someone as if you were in that situation. Think about someone who is not. That's I'm not. I don't mean this as a diss. I'm saying it because it's reality. People that have real mental problems or addiction, they're not going to be in their right mind to think about all that shit. And from experience, because I've seen it, applying for all that shit takes a lot of time. They're not, it's not like you apply and they don't, no, that takes months, maybe even years.
well, emergency food stamps can take 48 hours, or at least back in the 90s it did. Like I don't know if that changed.
Nah, I'm just
so
saying.
just to be clear, were you say you were addressing homeless people with mental issues or just people with mental issues in
No,
Oh, in
general?
general, but
home.
mostly because we were talking about homeless people. That's why I was
Right.
meaning homeless.
Well, I was gonna say because first problem with that is that they're on the street to begin with.
Oh
So
yeah,
they can't, yeah, so they can't get if they were somewhere to get that kind of help because places like that house people like that get the funding that they need for them to be there. But when you make it more difficult. Like we already know, like homelessness is not new here, and it's not exactly decreasing either, especially with inflation doing what it's doing. So it's like we're not making it easy for people to find help. And then too, when we don't get certain things, it oftentimes has to do with a certain demographic not getting access to it. So
thank you.
One of the main things that you said about Finland is that they did the experiment to see how they could help their people. We are not in that boat because even getting help is frowned upon. Like we're supposed to embrace the struggle. We're supposed to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Getting help is frowned upon. It's like, but you don't make it easy for people to not get help. And then when people result to crime, not that I'm justifying it or excusing it, but then when people result to crime, then you want to blame it on their background or XYZ. And it's like, okay, we gotta.
But that's part of the plan, though. So I'm not that part not surprised because, like I said, we need bodies to make money through the prison system, and we need poverty because that's the foundation of this country. But besides that, since we're doing hypotheticals again, I was just talking about homeless people and problems and stuff. But yeah, homeless people shouldn't be a thing. But because there's a million abandoned houses and a lot that I pass every day
that are now privately owned and being flipped and privately owned. First of all, let's start there. But okay,
all this land, all these resources being hoarded, amazing.
To Airbnb,
amazing.
That's funny because I think Airbnb. I know it was a couple years ago. I wonder if Airbnb is. This is how wild things are when you start trying to upset the established order. Hotel chains were getting pissed off because Airbnb was undercutting them, and there are certain cities that Airbnb is now illegal. So if I want to stay in a nice, comfy, I don't know, actual house, buy some groceries, cook my own food, and I can pay somebody $75 a night, as opposed to some hotel at $120 a night, I should be able to do that. But I know Dallas was having some serious issues as far as Airbnb. I'm not even sure Airbnb is legal in Dallas anymore. I'd have to double check. But yeah, you're correct. It's about bodies and dollars, and that's the sad part. And I guess like Jonee just mentioned, Finland has said, hey, we want a population that's okay. We want the people that are on the bottom rung of the ladder to try to get off the bottom rung of the ladder, or at least make it to where the bottom rung of the ladder ain't so damn bad. What a novel idea. In this country, it's, oh my God, you're giving away money. You gotta work. You gotta put yourself, like I said, put yourself with a bootstraps. You gotta rah, 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 rah. Knowing damn well, one, you a trust fund baby. You got handed that money. But two, like, no, when the goal isn't go be as rich as possible, and the goal is more, hey, let's just make sure our most vulnerable people are okay. That changes things. And I'm like, again, starting from zero, if I have 600 a month, how do I flip 600 a month to welcome to McDonald's, can I take your order? It would be a grind, but it can be done if this country cared enough to do it.
You're still doing the bootstrap theory, though.
Not really. Not really.
Not really?
Because when most people talk that bootstrap theory bullshit, they're talking about thinking like I got it out the mud.
That's not
I mean, most people talk that bootstrap theory bullshit and get it out the mud they damn self, for starters.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about like the person, the homeless people, whatever who we're talking about doing this. They're literally getting out the mud for minimum wage that still won't support their lives.
I'm about to say you're kind of getting out the mud. You're getting a little water poured on the mud so it won't be as slippery. Because 600 a month from zero a month,
so you got out of pool and shit and just walked in the piss. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
$600 a month is a hell of a lot more than $0 a month.
It used
If
to
I
be.
gotta, like I said, I know what the temperature feel like here. If I gotta stand on the corner and wait for your kindness, I got $0 a day, zero. But you gonna give me, and give or take, 600 bucks a month, give or take is around 19 bucks a day. You can make something shake with $19 a day.
Are you getting that a day? You probably getting that one time or two payments.
No, no doubt. But I'm just saying it averages out to 19 bucks, give or take 19 bucks a day, just using random amount.
Yeah, but no one does that when they see they check to see how much I make a day. You get whatever you get when it comes. You're not doing the day shit because you're not getting paid per day, which you probably should, but you're not. So yeah.
And what I also love about this, at least based on what I've been reading, no one does that American thing of, what about the drug addicts? Well, they're just taking that money to get high. They just taking that money to get drunk. Listen.
Like I said, it's about a certain demographic not getting access to it.
Even though the other demographic is the main one using it.
Well, but that's what they say instead of saying we don't want them to get it. It's easier to put a spin on it, even though we know who you're talking about, because I mean, I ain't really been on the earth that long, but I ain't never really heard nobody accuse a white person of being a drug addict, or this, that, and the other.
We
Maybe
watch
not
them.
out loud, but normally when that accusation comes up, it's somebody of color, predominantly black or brown. So
unless you're in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
it was about 4 of them on the show. So there we go.
It's a hell of a 4.
4.
That's it. If it's meth or whatever this new drug is, or opioids. There we go.
Yeah.
Not is it opioids?
Oh, the opioid crisis.
Yeah, like I said, it became a crisis because only one group of people did that. That's why it's a crisis. But yeah,
I mean, that's just the opioid crisis is wild to me. As I don't know if no, because it's not really a drug. I was gonna say I don't know if fentanyl counts as an opioid. It doesn't because it's not a real drug.
yeah,
But
that's just dropping everybody.
I don't know. That's just listen. After looking into what it does and sadly having to experience it firsthand, it must be the ultimate in escapism because if you're not in pain, it doesn't make you feel good. It just makes you feel like a zombie.
Like what?
Hey, what'd you say?
You said feel what?
You just feel like a zombie.
Maybe that's what they want. That's the point. Feel nothing. That's what escapism is.
Okay, because I thought the whole point of getting high is you can feel good.
I
Like,
mean,
I'm high.
Well,
sometimes
what are you getting
nothing is
high
good.
on, though?
I
Sometimes
mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't get the fentanyl crisis because I'm like, listen, when I finally woke up from my stroke, they gave me fentanyl as a painkiller. And yeah, it is powerful as shit because basically when I woke up, I felt like I had a jackhammer behind my eye. And that was the only thing that calmed it down. Right. So I'm in so much pain. They had to give me that to calm it down. That didn't feel good. That's not something I wanted to repeat. I just didn't want to hurt. So I'm like, to hear people taking this recreationally, it's like, really? Like if you're not in pain, that don't make you feel good.
emotional pain.
When I hurt when I hurt my knee, they gave me oxys. Same thing. People getting high up oxy is wild to me. It's like it don't make you feel good. It makes you feel like a zombie. It's like you're not.
Or the embalming fluid, which
What? Wait, whoa, what?
okay, so I'm sure that I'm not getting this all the way right, but mind you, I only heard about this maybe a few years ago. I think my grandma was the first one that told me about it. Was that whatever fluid that they use? I'm pretty sure it's embalming or something like that, where they dip either like a cigarette or something that they smoke. They dip it in the fluid and they smoke it. And so when you see people stuck, that's typically what they're on. Like the people that are stuck, maybe bent in an awkward position.
Oh,
To
the
my
horse train.
understanding, that's
I thought it was horse train. All right. Okay.
Oh, because not the Baltimore, the Baltimore. Because usually that's the heron fiend lean. But
He got
continue.
that horse train down
But
there.
I was gonna say that it might be based on where you are, because like I said, the first time I heard about it, my grandma used to drive buses.
Right.
So she and predominantly in downtown, so she would see all kinds of stuff, and she was the one that told us about it. So I was like, they're doing what now?
That's wild. I'm like I said, maybe it's because of where I'm at and the era I grew up in. Cats grew up with ecstasy and Molly, stuff that's supposed to make you feel good.
And crack.
What?
You forgot crack. That was the big one. I don't know why you just glossed over that.
Because crack is
Well, we didn't gloss really. It was more like a skid, and it was under the pavement when we skid. It was there,
It was on crack. All right, go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, shout out to Finland. This would really make Republicans go fight the air. Like, yeah, guess what? Giving people just a basic income to survive, to be a notch above eating out of your trash can. People still want to go get a job and work. What a novel idea. But yeah, shout out to Finland on that one. So we're gonna bring it back home from Finland back around the way. This was just wrong and funny all at once. So one, I didn't realize I was today years old when I figured out they have an official Twitter page. But BLM, Black Lives Matter, decided to tweet Hamas, release the hostages. Nothing, nothing, nothing off there. Nothing really off there. But at Bratty West, Bratty West, responded. Now, if Hamas tweets BLM release the funds, y'all gonna be mad. I'm like, oh damn. Oh damn. That's
Listen, can we all can we all just get along? I mean, that's see, I always tell people I can never delete Twitter because of stuff like that. That's just too, if you told somebody about that, they would believe that. You have to show somebody that. Because, oh my goodness, great. Like, who thinks of that?
Twitter got the
People
best
are
community.
we are something else. We are a creative bunch because that is hilarious. That's funny.
I love
That's
Twitter.
why I'm not on Twitter. I'm not funny enough or clever enough. I don't.
You ain't got to be. Just watch.
Be the audience and just scroll.
Just watch. That's
it is
what I
life
do. I
changing.
just watch. It is some funny ish. Oh my god. And Instagram. Instagram is dark, but it is funny.
There's Twitter and then there's Black Twitter, and I'm not. What's not gonna happen? What's not gonna happen is me ever get roasted. So I just stay. Nope. I stay away. I stay away. If a boss tweets BLM release the funds, y'all gonna be mad. I shouldn't find this as funny as I do, but yo.
And also, I just thought, how tone deaf is that?
Right.
How tone deaf. I'm like, yeah, and they deserved every bit of that because let's be fucking serious. Who tweet? Which one of who's the staff responsible? I need to know. Post the picture. Let me see who did it.
Deactivate the page in the organization. Get the fuck out of here. I'm tired.
Thomas, really? Okay, all right. Yeah, y'all deserve that clapback. Every ounce of it.
Get out of here. You had your shot. You fucking blew it. It's done. Move on. What? I don't even know why y'all still exist.
I'm like, these are the same people. You talk to the same people that spray painted George Floyd on them? Oh, all right, okay. Because Israel wouldn't release your ass.
The
Why you
Hamas
over there
released
tweeting?
the Hamas. So y'all team Israel too? Oh yeah, that's crazy.
They not team you.
Oh, we knew that. So that's why hey, it's for
Do they
for
know?
them.
Why they tweeting?
It's for
I just that's my who's in charge. I just who's in charge because that clapback was epic though, and it's like, oop.
Are you feeling in charge?
Like, because how dare you? Like, all right, like what did you have to gain from the tweet? Who promised you something for the tweet?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Who's
Yeah.
sliding you something? Because when did we do this? Well, let me not say we because they ain't never really spoke to me.
I'm not French.
But yeah, when they start doing that, now I ain't been I don't follow them like that. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But when they do that,
I didn't even know BLM had a Twitter page. That was still like
that just goes to show you every org don't need a platform.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
You can't just have anybody running your page. Now y'all out here looking crazy.
Well, that was already done deal. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but this just
Oh
put
my
them on a
God.
little bit closer to the edge.
I aspire to be funny and clever enough to be on Twitter because if one wrong move, boy, it can happen to you. One wrong move.
It's part of life, man. It happens.
I will stay my Gen X self over on Facebook and IG because yeah, Twitter is wild wild west,
That's
especially
crazy. IG, the conversation is the dark ages.
I'm like, first of all, I didn't think people had survived IG the way they jacked up the algorithm. I'm trying to figure out why I'm looking at people I don't follow.
That too.
Like, who the hell
well
is this?
because we're in the age of the content creator now. Like my fitness page, when I post something, it'll show me the results, and it'll be like 83% people who don't follow me. So it's intentionally because we're now in this weird age of content creation and everyone wants to be an influencer. If everything you post only goes to the people you know, you can't attract a new audience. So they just blast your stuff out to a whole bunch of people you don't know so you can try to rope in more new people. But yeah, I'm not getting roasted. I'm not getting roasted, yo. Because Twitter is just like IG is it can be cruel. IG can just be flat out cruel. There's no funny on top of it.
No, there's a
I
funny
mean,
on top. It's just dark.
you see, Twitter is cruel with a joke. Like this technically isn't funny, but it's funny as shit.
That's IG. You laugh
See,
at IG posts.
I want to say, see, IG comment sections be making people want to unalive themselves. That ain't what's good. Like
I was gonna
if
say too, it's a little bit more unhinged because it's not as publicized. Like it's not Twitter.
No, I ain't not to it. No. Like I said,
It's so
IG.
you gonna get away with saying some stuff, and then also your comment is most likely hidden amongst 10,000 others, as opposed to a Twitter post where you'll have a lot of people like it, but not a lot of people will reply. So
Unless it blows up.
you know,
and from a just as a side note, real quick, from a branding standpoint, listen, Elon, goofball. Um, we don't know why I decided to turn into X, but we're never gonna call it X. Okay. Not even the 20 somethings call it X. We all refer to it as Twitter still. We don't even say formally Twitter. We all say Twitter. Unless you're us, and then you say Black Twitter.
Who
So,
said formerly? No one even says that in the sentence. Okay, go ahead.
well, newscast. Like, if you watch Sports Center and they post something from it, they'll say, X, formerly Twitter. But yeah,
Sports Center still on? Damn.
yes, Sports Center's still on, sir.
I didn't. Hey, ESPN got his own app and stuff. I ain't know Sports Center survived. That should been a lot. Been
So,
on
what you been
for a
watching?
long
Fox
time.
Sports?
Hmm?
What you watching? Fox Sports and Skip?
I don't watch none of that.
Still messing with you.
Nah, Skip got his showcase. So he not even here no more. So
Yeah, if you just said 2 years ago, Skip and Shannon break up, who's going to survive? I wouldn't have got Shannon. But
I would.
anywho,
That was easy.
I said 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
No,
Not,
I would. That was easy. People was watching because of Shannon. All right, go ahead. No time. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, the level of cleverness and just oh, you gotta have to be on Twitter. I ain't got it, and I'm not. No, you're not gonna put me on it. Y'all gonna make me go viral. I ain't gonna say something. And yeah, no, it ain't gonna be me. But that's wild. Vermont said, release the funds. They be
A well-deserved clapback because how dare you?
right. Like, listen, BLM, y'all need to legit. Y'all need to pipe down. Y'all need to pipe down. Because the same way, anytime Dr. Umar pop out his hole, the first question is, "Yo, what's up to school, dog? What's up? What's up to school?" BLM pop out your hole at any point in time. The first question we got. So, what up with them families getting them funds, homie? Was good. Like, yeah, y'all need to stay real low until certain questions are answered. Um, Let me see here. Now the handle is wild. Yet another tweet from Quavo Yoda. That's a wild handle. It's a wild handle. But the tweet is serious. So let's see here. This is coming from the Cradle. Breaking news: World Food Program temporarily suspends activities throughout Gaza after one of its vehicles was hit by at least 10 bullets. There is a very crystal clear picture of a marked UN vehicle with bullet holes all through it. Oh, wait, no, not all through it, specifically in the glass. So it's taking headshots here. In retrospect, probably should have reversed the order of these two things, but we're here now. So I'll circle back to where we started, which was with Joe Stein and a third party. Because the problem, whether you go elephant or ass, neither one of them has outlined or, to my knowledge, spoken seriously about ending what is essentially a genocide in Gaza. How low, depraved, and cruel do you have to be to shoot at a food vehicle? Like
They already done it before. They blew up one last time.
is and I'll ask the question almost rhetorically. Is the objective to starve and just wipe people out? Oh, wait, it looks that way. It looks that way. Like, I think the part that blows me away the most, no pun intended, no bullshit. I think the part that gets me the most is I don't understand from that point to this one. How is it you can be the victim of the most heinous act in history and turn right around 80 years later, do the exact same things?
Hmm.
I don't, they're delivering food. Like, the shock and awe you see from me is just, you clearly see these people, they clearly see Palestinians as less than human, like not deserving of life at all, at all. And oh, a quick update, not something we touched on, but quick update. Don't know if either of you saw it, but the bodies of 6 Israeli hostages have been found, and now there's renewed calls to do more things to Palestinians. All loss of life is bad, but 6 versus how many on the other side, we're still not, the scales ain't balancing, dog. So now y'all enraged and incensed. Oh my God, how could you use the hostages? Do we really need to understand what's going on to Palestinian children, even women and children? Do we need to do that? But this is just extra heinous. You blow up a truck, now you're like, so you're targeting UN vehicles. Anyone else want to know when the UN's going to step in here? Just asking. Anyone else? But
Well,
please,
man, at this point.
my esteemed panel, your thoughts. Go for it, sir.
You done me?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, no. Our shoes on. No, I'm sorry. Not surprised. We already know what's going on. Like I said, they learn from the best. And now they're doing damn near the same stuff. And they've already told you, well, the Zionist part, not all Jewish people, because not all Jewish people agree with this. So let me clarify. But the Zionists specifically said we're the chosen people and everyone else is beneath us. And we barely see them as humans. We saw that, what they're doing to their prisoners and their captives, essaying the men in there on camera. Seen them bombing the schools and all that on camera. Like I said, everything, the genocide, everything they doing is in 4K on camera. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. Well, there is something we could do to stop it, but we're not going to do that. So theoretically, there's nothing we can do to stop it other than just say, please stop. To people who clearly don't care and have an agenda and are in beds with Israel and Ukraine. So yeah. I think the only way it ends is when it's over. And when it's over, it might not be anyone left, unfortunately.
So that's what I was thinking. I was like, by the time they step in, you're gonna be saving about 30 people.
That's what I'm saying. So
it's like, and not to be funny, but it's like the I guess if you want to call it that, the main powers that can do something about it are in cahoots with them, which is an understanding I'm trying to gain of what is this hold that they have, because first mistake being making a certain place or a certain people the face of suffering when you haven't been truthful about everybody's suffering, not just one people. Now, granted, that's not what it's about, but it's interesting what people are allowed to get away with when they can spew what all they've been through as a people, or how they can use it against you, or how they can weaponize it, I should say, because we all know people that do it, and it's not always justified, and sometimes it's even wrong. Now, is this the case? I don't know, because like I said, even I'm trying to understand what is this, like, what are they gain? What are we as a country gaining from this, other than, again, I'm not understanding. I'm still not, and I would actually love if somebody help me understand.
that's a rabbit hole that you don't want to know, because a lot of politicians on both sides.
We're Black in America. We're in the rabbit hole, whether we want to be or not. We're a part of it.
Yeah, true. But this is business. Unfortunately, even though it's license code, this is business.
Hey, I understand money moves.
Yeah. So, and they're literally who they're in business with. And
I hear you say it's business, right? The problem I'm having with that, and admittedly, I'm thinking either A, this is more than business, or there's just some moving parts I don't understand. Listen, my understanding, I've heard this said, and I can't remember the source, but it said the U.S., the biggest problem the U.S. has in the Middle East is its connection and unending backing of Israel, right? I interpret that to mean this. Listen, if I'm backing you up, but you got beef with everybody else in your neighborhood, and the only reason I got beef is because I'm backing you up and you got beef.
That's not the only reason. That's a lie. But go ahead.
It would make good business sense then for me to cut ties with you and start having conversations with everybody that hates your ass. That's good business. It's good business, right? Because if I'm cool with you, but everybody in your hood hates you, and now by default, They're not fucking with me because I fuck with you, dog. Then I cut ties with you and start having conversations with the cats that hate you. Because they ain't really got beef with me per se. They don't like your ass. So if I cut ties with you, I'm cool with them by default, or I'm out the shit completely. Put it in real terms. If the issue in the Middle East is because US backs Israel and everybody fucking hates Israel with good reason, might I add. With good reason, seemingly good reason, might I add. Then cut ties. Because like Jonee said, I don't see how this relationship is mutually beneficial. I don't see where the US benefits from backing Israel. I don't get it. Because I know this all ties back to you run it back to the Holocaust and what Hitler did, and blah 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 blah. And they're the chosen people, and this is the chosen land, and that ain't working out too well, to say the least. That ain't working out too well, right? So why so many weapons and so much money going to Netanyahu and going to that nation state that is causing so many problems?
Even affecting our climate, literally.
Really was not aware. Please put me on.
Now, granted, I don't have all the scientific words to put into perspective, but the way I understand it is when you put that much crap in the air from literally trying to demolish an entire country, surely there's stuff like they always say, whatever is going up comes back down in some form or fashion. So all this stuff that you're throwing down to obliterate is coming back down on us environmentally in an unhealthy fashion. Granted, now we've been talking about, for example, how many years have we been talking about the ozone layer getting thinner? I heard that in elementary school.
I'm about to say since the Clinton years, at least, I think. That was the 90s, so I'm thinking at least at the Clinton years.
Now, I don't necessarily think people are lying when they say that. But for us to be saying that for this long, and then for now, we can actually feel it.
We ain't gonna be
You're
happy.
not gonna sit here and tell me these temperatures that we're sitting in for 2 weeks at a time is normal. I'm not trying to hear all that.
Now the funny part, now you're trying to be comic relief. I still don't know exactly what's normal in North Texas because one year we got 100 degrees for an entire month. This year it was 100 for like a week, and then it wasn't. So I don't know what's normal, but I get your point.
I can definitely find some sources to back me up because I've read about it a few times, and then I read something about it that made it click for me, and I was like, that makes sense, but that's also very scary when you think about it. Because that stuff, when you think about what's in them, that stuff has to affect the environment somehow. When you think about it, it has to.
Yeah, because it's like I don't necessarily know if they're using anything nuclear, but you can look to history. Look at Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Like look at Chernobyl now. Like yes, I think there's certain shit that still won't grow there. I think there are certain places where the radiation level is still through the roof.
That's nuclear. That's not.
And they ain't gonna tell us
That's
what's
nuclear.
in it. They ain't gonna tell us.
I think we would know if they drop a nuclear bomb. They ain't hiding that. But
Well, no, nuclear for sure, but I'm saying like for all the harmful stuff, there's harmful stuff in our food that we're consuming every day.
harmful stuff.
I'm certain that whatever they're dropping on somebody else is extremely detrimental to the environment in many ways.
For sure. But to push back what you said, yeah, everyone doesn't just hate Israel. Everyone hates the U.S. too, and they ain't got nothing to do with Israel. They just hate us because we have a hand, with the CIA and all that, in everything.
Yeah.
And destabilizing and assassination tips, causing coups, all this shit, stuff that we see Israel doing and we're backing up. So yeah, everyone hates us unless they're a direct ally or we're in your pockets or in business together, which is what we are, Israel. That's a business, we own you, nigga type shit. So yeah. Nah, everyone hates us already. It ain't got nothing to do with Israel. It just doesn't help that we align with them. It's like us against the world. Well, not us, but the U.S. government and them
Yeah.
against the world. So yeah, um, it's not going to stop. You're not getting help from us, and no one, at least at this point, that I know of, outside of China and Russia, might be up to something. But no one wants smoke with us. So it's like if no one wants smoke with us, no one really wants smoke with Israel. So this is why it's going to continue to happen until someone steps up with, which might start, WW3, which won't be fun either. But hey,
I don't
wartime
know.
makes money. A
Well,
lot
to
of
get to
people
our
make money.
previous point, they getting the smoke that don't nobody want from Israel. They getting the smoke from us.
Right. And that, like I said, now I'm curious. I'm in the midst of everything that's happened, all that's going on. That's the one thing I've never actually explored. I understand the US's allegiance to Israel is problematic, to say the least.
It is.
What I don't understand is A, its origins, and B, why it continues. Like it,
Because
if you see this thing is consistently causing you a problem, then cut off the problem.
that's not okay. This is where I think you got twisted. It's not the Braves. They don't care. Like I said, this is business. They are in business together. The brown lives that they're sacrificed, they don't care.
You
They
can
made
sell
it
weapons
obvious
to
they're trying to
anybody.
wipe them out so they own that land completely and business can happen as usual. They've
The,
said it. Like what other president could walk in here? Like we spoke about this. It's two presidents, Ukraine and them, can walk in here, dictate shit. That's what Israel did. Literally came in here, dictated shit. This is what was going to happen, and walked out with a couple billions. It's like, thank you.
Just because you wanted the space. That's what it is.
Like, yo, we supposed to be the most powerful, and someone else who's supposed to be a lesser country is walking in here like they own the place. I wonder why. Because they do. But yeah. So
that's a
yeah.
that's a Negan move.
They that's yeah. Yeah.
That's a
They need it.
Negan.
It's like, hey, that's a great, yeah, that's a great analogy right there.
You thanked me for it.
Yeah.
Okay. If anyone is watching and don't understand, please go watch Walking Dead. The Negan episodes. It'll make sense. It'll make sense. Oh wow, it's just wild. Speaking of wild, so now I bring it back over here to wow, Louisiana. This is weird, and I'm going to tie it back to where we started yet again. Um, so this I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. As of August 23rd, I'm getting this right from Earth Justice. The U.S. District Court for the Western District of Louisiana permanently blocked the U.S. EPA and Department of Justice from enforcing disparate impact regulations under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act in the state. A move that stops the federal government from addressing disparate harm in project permitting, compliance, and enforcement of environmental laws, as well as provision of basic services such as sewage, drinking water, and health services. So, what does this mean in short order? Basically, Louisiana has told the US government to go fuck itself when it comes to making sure that there is no environmental pollution issues in primarily Black areas. Louisiana, in case you didn't know, was kind of blackly black. I'm, I'm, and I quote, Louisiana has given industrial polluters open license to poison Black and Brown communities for generations, only to now have one court give it a permanent free pass to abandon its responsibilities. So this circles back to where we started with Jill Stein and her campaign. And remember, one of the points it mentions is stop environmental pollution. Now, I would think, as I said, what did I say? That's not affecting the money. Just go dump your shit elsewhere. But what we have here Is the court saying no? Y'all ain't gotta do that. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Y'all can dump it where the niggas is at. I, I just,
Why are you surprised, man?
because they not even hiding it anymore.
They wasn't hiding it back then.
You know, it took a minute to figure out the fuck shit that was going on in Flint. Why is the water brown? They're not even hiding it. They're not even hiding it. It's on the books now.
So
What are we doing?
They haven't hidden it well since Katrina.
Oh shit. Shit.
They haven't hidden it well since Katrina, and that alone radicalized so many people's thinking, as opposed to as a means of where we stand in this country. So,
I mean, I still got a theory about that. Underground theory, 9/11 wasn't an accident. Got it. My other theory, and this shakes some cages. I know a lot of people want to make Katrina a black thing. I think it was a poor thing. I don't think there was, hypothetically in my head, if you flip the race of New Orleans, the race of the affected people, and they are white folks, I don't think you get much of a difference. I honestly don't believe you get much of a difference in the response. I do not.
Oh, you didn't go the route I thought you was gonna go. I thought you were gonna say something else. Okay.
No, I just don't. It's a black thing because it is, because that's just who happens to be there. But this is one of those cases I think poor trumps race. Because the thing about certain poor folks is if you're getting a bunch of government subsidies as far as your income is concerned, you're not paying taxes. Um, you may also not necessarily be voting. That is a blanket statement. It may not be 100% true, but basically what I'm leaning to is if you are not paying taxes and you are not voting, you are what? Not showing up on a politician's radar. You are not their constituency. So they have no impetus to give a shit about you. They're going to take care of the people that vote for them. But if you're getting quote unquote free money, if you're getting quote unquote free money and you're not paying taxes, why should I care what's going on with you? So I still stand by if the racially affected were reversed, I don't think you get a difference in the response in Katrina. That's just something I've always said.
I don't
You know.
think it happens. Not as bad as we did, but that's another rabbit hole conspiracy. Because that's why I thought you were gonna go with, but you didn't. You went okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm just saying Katrina. Was that's the last time I can remember on record that we thought we saw Kanye West as black. But after that, it was all downhill. Ever since George Bush did not care about black people, well, here we are. Trump is my hero. He's like my dad.
It's
But anywho,
since his mom passed, that's why it changed. But it's all right. But yeah.
but no, this is putting it on the books. That's the part that's blowing my. Can you at least try to hide this shit a little bit?
Why?
for what? Hide from who?
Right. You're not gonna do nothing.
Now, see, I gotta go Republican for a second. Gotta go Republican for a second. This is what will incite the woke mob. That's why you hide it. Because if you put this shit out there, the woke mob will come for you. If you say certain things, you will get quote unquote canceled. So you gotta keep at least a little veil over it so the woke mob won't come looking for you. This is, yeah, we're gonna dump sewage and bullshit in your neighborhoods and your water supply, and yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna do. Color me shocked. Color me shocked. You're not even trying to hide it at this point.
Hey, Slim Shady is back. Everything is in play again. PC police does not matter anymore. And they do not care. Because you're not gonna do nothing. Because all the stuff that's going on, all the stuff that happened during the pandemic, you ain't do shit about that either. You're not doing shit about Gaza. You're not doing shit about nothing. You trying to survive. So you're not worried about nothing. So yeah. Mm.
It's literal law. It's Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. And you're checking to see if it's been violated by failing to protect Black communities from disproportionate environmental harm. So I'm and maybe this is my fault because I don't want it to be what I think it is. Because I'm trying to figure out, like, are you intentionally trying to do harm to Black people here? Is that the goal? Like, are you intentionally trying to essentially poison Black people and Black children? Is that
out of character?
Like, yeah.
Is that out of character? Like this is what blows me every time you surprised about shit that you already know. That's not out of character. They do not care. It might not even be intentional. It might just be, I don't care about you. So whatever happens, happens.
the reason it blows my mind is because you and I both normally agree that, look, the bigger conversation other than race is class, right? Right. So you could have dumped this shit in any poor neighborhood, but you chose the poor Black one.
But who's the all right? But there's
That's
still
what I'm like,
class
yeah,
there.
it's intentional because if you're talking about having other places to dump it, there are places that are literally not neighborhoods.
That too.
So
And plus, going back to class, who's at the bottom of that totem pole of that class?
I mean, so are we saying poor Blacks are worse than poor whites? Is that what we do?
You know this. I mean, you still poor to them, but
That's what I'm about to say. I know
there
when
still
you're
is a hierarchy with that too.
so there's a hierarchy of poor. God damn. Okay.
Man, welcome to the class pyramid.
like, because I'm thinking from up here, listen, if I'm standing on top of the Empire State Building and look down, it's all cars. I can't differentiate between Benz and Beamer, and it's all just a bunch of little cars. I could give a shit about any of them. I figure it's the same thing when you're a billionaire. When you look down, you're just poor. You're just poor, unwashed masses. I really don't care which poor neighborhood I fucking cause your kids to have an extra finger for. Ain't my kids, right? So the reason this is kind of mind blowing is because so you're intentionally dumping this shit or fucking up the environment. Black, poor Black folk. Kind of wild. Kind of wild. And that's the what the fuckiness of it all. But I'm talking a lot. So, you know, I guess I would at no point be asking either of you, is this surprising? Well, yes, is this surprising? Because given what we just talked about, you could dump this shit in any poor neighborhood. Specifically in Black neighborhoods seems to be a little extra heinous. Does this surprise you?
yeah, I was gonna say it's surprising to me because it does in that aspect, it does seem very deliberate. Like that's a choice. You know, that's a choice, and that's an oddly specific choice for people that don't care.
Right. Right. And I'm like, and I gotta remember, I think Louisiana is red. I can't remember if Louisiana is red or blue, but I'm pretty sure they're red. Doing goofy shit like this, I'm pretty sure they're red.
Like Bible Belt is 9 times out of 10 gonna be red.
All right. Well,
So
hey, Georgia flipped last go around. Hey, they got just enough blue in them.
it's Georgia. Let's relax. It's Georgia.
Georgia.
One today, the other tomorrow. It's Georgia.
There's Atlanta, and then there's Georgia.
My point
And
exactly.
right, because of these
My point
goofballs,
exactly.
because these goofballs gonna be Atlanta and Georgia and now Cop City. But yeah, that shit is wild. But I just let me see. Historically Black. So I'm just doing a little more digging. They closed a years-long civil rights investigation in St. John, a historically Black community, with some of the highest cancer rates from toxic air pollution in the country. So it just seems dated. Like racism itself seems very, very dated. Like, impress me. Just hate all poor people equally. Just hate all poor people equally. But the extra attention paid to seemingly hating black people is just weird at this point to me. It's just weird. Because we're literally 10%. Depending on which way biracial people decide to identify, maybe 12% of the population on a good day. So this is just kind of weird. But here we are.
This is something where critical race theory would be helpful. But again, when you prioritize people's feelings over education, then you're going to make seemingly uneducated decisions. And like you said, it's dated because it seems like a very uneducated decision.
And I thought we was at facts over feelings, but
no. Because every time they were trying to shut things down, what did they say? We don't want to feel. We don't want our kids to feel. Bruh, do you know how many fucking times I had to sit and watch Roots? I had to watch Roots before I even understood what that shit was.
True. But see, now you walked in, now you stepped in it. We've had that conversation on the show, though. There's meat to that.
No.
There's meat to that.
No. And I remember disagreeing, picking you apart. So let's not do that again.
Well, she wasn't here for the conversation. I'll go to short version. And you're a teacher, so this is going to be an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, how do you think it is going to make a little white kid feel like when they start putting two and two together? So I'm thinking you expose them to, say, second, third grade young kid and say, hey, you have a white kid. I'm just hypothetically, you have a white kid. He's got a little best friend that's black. They're cool, right? You explain the history of the country in first, second grade language. How do you avoid the white guilt that comes along with explaining the truth about this country? How do you have a kid not feel bad about being white when they understand, hey, my best friend Corey's black and we did some horrible things to his great-great-grandparents? How do you avoid that dread, that guilt of whiteness?
Well, first off, from a not even just a teacher standpoint, but from a standpoint period, you cannot control people's feelings or how they receive things. If a child goes home feeling a certain kind of way, at some point, you got to learn stuff at home. School cannot be the only place you're learning things.
It shouldn't be.
So it shouldn't. In a perfect world, there would be a balance between real life situations at home and what goes on in school. That's not the case. But it even hurts me to say it, but can't control what they feel. Can't control your guilt. Can't control none of that, because you feeling a way is not going to change anything. Just like how us feeling a certain way about stuff doesn't change anything. We just feel it. Now, you can deal with that feeling however you want. It's the parent's responsibility to help them navigate that. Now, that's just my take on that. There is no avoiding it, because if we were talking about avoiding feelings, there's some things that I'm sure we wouldn't talk about regarding other races. But I mean, if we have to go home feeling less than, or we have to go home at this shitty attempt to desensitize us from our history by only showing us the suffering part and not the part where we were creating and building things and flourishing without their permission, because there are people older than me that are still learning about Tulsa. There are people older than me that are still learning that Tulsa was not the only place they did that. So I'm not saying eye for an eye. I'm not, I'm not saying we got to go back, throw the feelings back and forth. But what I am saying is, if you subject one demographic of kids to this one thing for so long, and then you turn around and you say, well, we don't want these kids to feel bad. We've already been feeling bad. We grew up with it, and now we're here. So it's like, if we're gonna talk about feelings, let's keep it 100. How do Black kids feel when they go home and they're learning a part of the history and they know it's a lie? What you talk? One of the most shocking things to me was when I have a cousin who is 19, 20 now. A couple of years ago, I don't even remember how we got on the conversation. We were talking about slavery, and she said that slaves were unpaid something.
Servants?
Something
Or
like
maids
that.
or something like that?
Unpaid intern service, something that was just wildly inaccurate.
Oh no.
But it's the fact that she said it with such conviction, and we all stopped and looked at her and we were like, what did you just say?
It started.
She repeated it, and we were like,
it's already started.
Where'd you get that from?
I thought it was a joke.
At school.
I thought that was a joke. They were
What?
doing that now. Oh, yeah, we cooked. Yeah, it's done.
We're gonna talk about feelings. We're being lied to about our history, and we're living long enough to see our kids be lied to about it.
Hey, what? Who said this? Man, fuck them kids. I mean, respectfully, but fuck them kids. Like, tell the truth, man. That's what's going on.
No, but also yes, because it's like them kids will be all right.
They will.
They'll be all right.
They will.
Will they?
Yes. Oh my God. Not right, bro.
Okay. Time out. All right. So now I got to switch hats.
Yeah, you put your white hat on. Go ahead.
Oh, really? Really? That's what you're doing? Now I got to switch hats. No, I'm going to put on the hat that I also wear because of your existence. I'm a dad, right? And the thing here is on a very base level. Do you understand how viscerally I would react if you came home and essentially explained to me how the teacher made you feel bad for existing? As a parent, you do not make my child feel small for existing.
That's already happened. I'm a you know what? Go ahead. We're gonna go with fairy tale. Keep going.
So on a very just basic parental level, right? If I'm a white dad and you have made my white child feel guilty for existing, how do you still appropriate response?
We're telling the truth.
I guess my first question is, how old is the child?
Like I said, I'm thinking what? I'd say second, third grade-ish.
So I don't think realistically that that's something that could effectively be discussed in an elementary setting, primarily because a lot of them are still learning that the world does not revolve around them. They're still learning that up until they leave, and then they go to middle school still thinking the world revolves around them. So, I mean, realistically, I wouldn't support critical race theory being discussed in elementary schools. That just doesn't make sense to me. When I thought about it, I guess I kind of assumed that they meant more upper level kids, because I'll be real with you, that's probably where that discussion needs to be had the most.
Yeah.
Because even the school that I'm at now, I work in the elementary part, but we're connected to the upper level school because they're right upstairs. And the stuff that we hear that's happening upstairs, you hear about it and you're like, I don't understand why y'all are doing this. Because genealogically speaking, a lot of y'all are closer than you think, and you upstairs with having race wars about what? And wait, how are we having race wars and we're failing classes? Because what we need to be studying and talking about, we're not studying and talking about. So,
Right.
but yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, for a smaller child, I wouldn't
Okay.
even think that. Like honestly, like even now, I hear like I work. There are very few African American children at my school. I work with predominantly Middle Eastern Hispanic population. So, but I treat them just like how I treated my other kids. When I heard or saw them doing something, I would kill it immediately, especially if it was some something racially motivated that they don't even know is wrong, but they're repeating something that they heard and saw on TikTok. Like for example, I had a couple of second graders um doing that ching chong mess. And I dug into them about that. I said, I don't care where you do that at. Don't let me hear or see you
Don't
doing
do it here. Don't
or
do it
be
here.
in you. No, even if you're not in my room, if you're in the hallway and I hear you doing that, I'm going to get you.
One way or another. I'm sorry.
You
No,
stupid
because it's
child.
like I don't tolerate it from anybody, and I think working with kids, you learn you got to kill that very quickly. It's like no, that's not okay from anybody, because that racial and again, I mean, granted, we just said that maybe elementary is not the place to start that conversation,
It's not.
Right.
but some of the other bullshit is starting very early.
Which is also stupid.
I don't know. It's weird. As a parent, I don't want anyone to make my child feel bad about existing.
But
You know,
I feel like kids of color kind of
Why?
feel that more often than not. You still have Native kids going to school, coming home with their hair cut. I don't know if you heard about the there was another kid that just happened to. Little Native kid went to school. He had a
Yeah,
break,
I remember
came
that.
home, hair was cut.
Yeah, Native American. Yeah, they're making a big uproar about that.
Now,
And they
granted, it
should.
doesn't happen that often, but I'm saying it happens more times than it's reported. Like
We
our kids go home feeling like that all the time because little Jimmy, little Tommy done said something that they heard at home. Now,
and
granted, we're talking about something that will be enforced by a curriculum as opposed to something that is a part of our day-to-day life.
you shouldn't feel bad about the truth. And then even if you do, that's a good thing. If they feel bad, that's a great stepping stone that you feel empathy and regret. So maybe you can be the change of the future.
But then I also don't think it's just about villainizing people.
It's not. It's the
Because
truth.
it's not just about that.
Just tell the truth.
That was the point that I was making when I was saying, no, you'll be okay. Because it doesn't even have to be presented that way for people to take it that way.
They will, but either way, I don't care. Either way,
So
it's the truth. Is the truth. You take it how you want it, but I'd rather be told the truth and you make your decisions and move forward, so you be more knowledgeable from down the road. Now, I don't know if you should be saying like you said, elementary school kids, they not gonna retain that shit, so it is pointless. That should be like a middle school and up thing when it can be retained a little bit better. But yeah, just tell the truth. Everyone will be better for it. Everyone.
I mean, I think the thing that, and I got to echo that sentiment. I think the thing that is the ultimate cure for this, and I think is also, all nonsense aside, me putting hypotheticals aside, the reality of the situation is this: if the truth were told from day one in all households, this wouldn't be jarring.
mhm.
This is not jarring then, and I cannot trust for a multitude of reasons. But I cannot trust that certain conversations are being held in white households. Some of that I think is intentional, but honestly, a lot of it is not, because
So
if you are the dominant group, there are just certain conversations you don't have to have.
that's cool. So that sounds like a you problem. So if your child feels bad because you've been lying to him, that sounds like a you problem. That means
Is
you
it,
should have told the truth.
But
is it
realistically, are you going to discuss something you're not affected by? No.
exactly? Is it lying or lying by omission, or it's
You're
class
not gonna
example?
sit. You're not gonna sit. You're not gonna sit at your dinner table and talk about what affects other people.
Right.
Be able
You
to try
know,
to dictate what other people do though, and judge them for it. So I know those discussions happen. I've seen that. So yeah, double-edged sword. I don't want to, like I said, don't shoot the gun and stab someone and then cry victim. Like Israel. Don't be like Israel. Just do some real stuff.
Lord,
Tell them the truth.
trying to get us canceled. Okay.
Oh, fuck, that's the truth. They playing victim. We all see it. If we get canceled for that, whatever. Good.
I mean, the inherent issue is, like I said, when when would that come? Like you said, when would that come up?
Whenever y'all talk about it.
Like when does that come? If you're white parents and your white child has an affinity for black, has a black friend, has an affinity for black culture, because I'm fairly sure I lived through this. The conversations were not real pleasant with white kids who wanted to dabble in black culture in the 80s, particularly hip hop culture. Conversations weren't real pleasant that surrounded the NWAs, the breakdancing, beatboxing. Yeah, the conversations weren't real pleasant. But current day, I don't know where you open that conversation up. I guess you got to kind of got to have it happen naturally. And it also depends on where you live.
There you go. This is not rocket science, bro. You overthinking it. Tell the truth. Parents
Okay,
be good
so
parents, and it will work itself out.
well, as me growing up in Buffalo, New York, or someone sitting in Iowa right now, what up, Iowa? Again,
Yeah,
um,
anyway, catching strays every time.
you can literally go depending on where you're at, you can go your entire day and not have contact with black folk. There is no impetus to have that conversation.
Okay. What is all right? Okay, we just getting off. What does this have to do with what we talking about? About white guilt. Where does this come in at? So
Because I'm
for the
trying to
kids
the
in
way
Iowa, then what?
okay, the way you assuage that is by having a conversation at home. What I'm thinking here, the problem here, an issue though, is what 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 incentive, depending on where you're at in this country, what incentive is there to have that conversation?
You just said okay. This is easy. You just said okay. The white kid has guilt, so clearly it was taught at school. They were told the truth. But I don't know how they were told, but they were told. They come home. You ask them what's wrong. This is what I was told. That's how the conversation happens. It can flow so seamless. It's not hard. You're overthinking and making fucking excuses. That's annoying me. It's
Well,
not hard. It's
I'm
not.
not trying to be annoying. I'm just trying to be like, because I'm not saying you're wrong, but for whatever reason, we're here and these conversations aren't happening. In fact, it's being classified as woke, and it's a whole lot underneath that umbrella. Because really, woke is just code for intolerant.
Yeah,
To be honest,
pretty much.
two dudes kissing. Oh, that's woke. No. This is life. This is real life, not in the 1950s.
Don't we love when we learn new words?
Here's looking at you, Republicans, as usual.
Yeah.
Words that they can help mask.
Mhm.
So we're getting farther and farther from the N word. We're using
Yeah, whoa.
other things now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just changed. Like I said, ain't nothing changed. You just changed the language. You just disguise it in different ways now. It's the same stuff. Nothing's
What's the other one? DEI.
yeah, DEI. That's a new one. That's a new old one.
Which
See what they come
man,
up with
that
next.
that that threw me for a loop because I was like, "Are we really going down this road?" You talking
Right,
about
I
some
think they were.
truth? Okay. Well,
And
since
yeah,
we're
oh
on the
man,
subject,
yeah, because there's
how
a
many
there's
of
a
y'all? Matter of fact, you want to talk about some DEIs? We worked on some, but
Mm.
yeah, because there's an ugly thing going on. Forgot to touch on it for this show, but there's a major school in California, a college in California. I want to say Stanford, but I'm not sure Stanford. I forgot because I didn't look at the article, but the enrollment numbers are out, and the African American enrollment is down just about the same percentage Asian enrollment is up. Now, I'm not pointing fingers at my Asian brothers and sisters, but that's a real interesting correlation there. And then it made all this noise, and the school has gotten rid of any kind of racial, factors as far as admission goes. And lo and behold, the Asian population goes up, which is directly correlate to the black admission going down. Interesting how that worked. Interesting how that worked. Promise next week we'll touch on that. I'll get the school and the actual stats, but just interesting how that works. And yeah, there we are. But that's her thing. That's her thing. So before we run it back with a recap, anything else anybody want to touch on? I'm trying to think if we missed anything. Is there anything popping that you want to touch before we run it on back?
No.
And that's that. All right. Run it back recap. Here we go. Taking it from the top. Jill Stein, just if you don't vote for Jill, you ain't black. That's what I got on that one. I'm biting off.
Good luck, sis.
I'm just
Good
saying.
luck, sis.
If you
Good luck, girl.
Finland and their basic income. Yeah, 600 a month just to exist. I'm not saying you're gonna be balling, but it'll get you off the bottom rung. Pay attention, US. BLM clapback. That was nasty work. That was nasty work.
No, that's what we call bon appetit. That was a well done. Was a well cooked. She cooked, as the kids say.
Oh yeah. The World Food Program suspended in Gaza. This is just the level. I'm at this point. There's no point in me being shocked at the level of depravity of the Israelis. Like at this point, it's just there's no level they all won't stoop to, and that is depressing. That is depressing. Federal court permanently suspends the environmental protections in Louisiana. So again, y'all just not even hiding it anymore. That's wild. You're not even hiding it. The court said, "Hey, stop polluting black and brown neighborhoods," and y'all said, "Nah, fuck y'all. We're gonna continue to dump trash and boost the cancer rates." Wow. Okay. Your recap. Anybody, feel free to jump on in.
Ladies first. Go.
No, I have. No, I have nothing. Like I said, I'm still stuck on Miss Jill because, like I said, great. It all sounds so good, but man, does everything sound good on paper. Like I think we all realistically would love to vote and have that actually work, but I
mean, like I said, I gotta combine Trump and Jill. I mean, Trump and Jill at this point. If you don't vote for Jill, you ain't black enough. And as Trump once said, "What do you got to lose, black people? What do you got to lose? Go ahead and vote for her. What do you got to lose?" Kane, your recap, sir.
We can't win, so it's done. It sounds good though, man. Whoever wrote that, give him a raise. Finland might be. Wait, hold on. Is Finland highly racist? Do they accept us?
I think we good over there.
We good?
I think we good over there.
What's they got giant creatures over there? They like Australia?
Nah, it's too cold for that.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, Finland. You might see me sooner than you think, my brothers. Do I have to wear the one of them little skirt thingies? No, I mean no disrespect. I'm just asking. That seems real.
That's Scotland, man.
Scotland. No disrespect.
Not us getting the countries mixed up.
I apologize. I hope y'all still accept me. If not, hey,
nah, they heard you. You're out.
It was a joke.
I actually heard the door slam.
Outside. I'll wait outside. I'll still be here.
Try Switzerland. One of the other lands.
Yeah, I don't think Switzerland gonna ride with me. World food, Gaza. Yeah, nothing surprised me. We all know what they're trying to do. It's in 4K, trying to wipe people out, and they're doing a great job of it right now, and no one's doing anything about it. So, state of the world, gotta love it. The federal government court. Okay. Yeah, clear racism or environmental racism, which is on brand. So they don't care. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about poor people. They don't care about nothing but profits and power. So there you go. Is that it?
Oh, you forgot to tweet.
What tweet?
The,
Oh,
the,
the beer.
Spicy.
That's why I forgot, because I don't give a fuck about that organization. I hate that organization. All right, good. Whoever did that clapback, give them 1 million followers and some bread. Cause that was funny. Other than that, it's still fuck BLM, not the movement, but the organization. So yes.
So not the sentiment, but
Oh yeah, I always thought it was a sentiment. I still abide by the sentiment. But fuck the organization, because they ruined the sentiment and ruined us to a certain extent. So yeah, forever, forever.
well, that's the show. That's what we got. This was absolutely freaking awesome and fun to do. Um, I appreciate the other perspective on critical race theory and how to avoid white guilt in white children. Oh, that's not fair. But any closing statements, or are we all good here?
I am good.
I want to thank our special guest, Miss Jonee, for joining us. It has been a pleasure and a blast. And as of course, you are welcome back anytime, continuing the running list of awesome Black women guests we have had. On behalf of myself, my guest, my co-host, and the Yeah I Said It podcast, we will see you next time. Peace.
Yeah.